Hi, beautiful souls. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining me. This is day 7 of my 40-day challenge of bringing spiritual insights to you. And so last night and into this morning, as I was in meditation, I was receiving this message about beginning to deepen our level of trust of our spiritual journey, our soul's path, right? Our growth, our evolution. And in meditation, um, what I was shown was actually scenes and clips of my own life where they were really, really tough moments. They were moments where I felt broken or where I felt like I couldn't go forward, right? Moments of being on the ground crying, upset because I had a broken heart, or being in a moment of sheer desperation, being isolated from family and friends, and not knowing how I was going to, get out of that situation and move beyond that. And if I think back when I was looking at these scenes that were shown to me, I remember the first time when I was in that really difficult situation where I was in a narcissistic relationship and I was isolated and 3,000 miles away from family and friends and support. And I really had to, in that moment, not just surrender, but I did fully surrender, because in that moment, I felt like I had nothing else left to to not just to give, but I felt I had no other options, no other choices. And I had to surrender and just trust that somehow, some way, something was going to change for me, that a miracle would happen. And that's exactly what happened for me. Within 24 hours, I was actually, I would say, set free, I guess you could call it, allowed to leave that situation, and I was given enough money to get on a plane ticket and go home. But as I go forward and I look at these other clips that were shown to me in meditation, there was other moments in my life where it was difficult and a relationship ended or somebody passed away, and it just felt so devastating in the moment. And what they were showing me is, when you look back, if you look back on your life, you can see how you came through those moments. You came out the other side of those, whether you were, you know, surrounded by fear or doubt or worry or concern. I always rose. I always was able to rise to the occasion. I was always able to make it through. And in the beginning, it was just this innate knowing that I was meant for something more. It was this quiet whisper of my soul that was telling me, just keep going. Everything's going to be okay. And so we're being asked to really start to deepen this level of trust with the divine, with our soul, our relationship with our soul, our relationship with our higher self, our I am presence, our relationship with God, with the divine. Whatever that term is for you, that's just my terminology. That's what speaks to my truth. But recognizing that we are fully supported by this infinite intelligence. And so, in this trust, beginning to trust what they were saying to me, what I was receiving, is that we really need to stop looking outside of ourselves, right? As soon as something goes wrong, and there's nothing wrong with talking to somebody about what you're going through, but we are being asked to take it to the next level and to always come back to silence and going within and beginning to commune with this infinite intelligence, God, to commune with our higher self, and to trust in this knowing that we are fully supported, we are fully loved, and we will see it through to the other side. And this other message that I received that I feel was just very profound, that came through as I was being shown these scenes is that sometimes in the moment we think that it's so devastating when a relationship ends. We can feel sometimes that, how could this be? You know, if we really felt that we were in love with that person, and that um, we really felt that our life was meant to continue with them. And what they were showing me, what this message was that was coming through, was that if it's meant for you, right, it will be. And if it's not, God has something greater for you. He has a greater plan. And it's not always what you think. You know, you might think that this was supposed to be the outcome, but it might not be. And I was shown, just by looking at all of the clips they showed me of my own life, I was shown how this infinite intelligence, my higher self, knew what was best for me, knew what was going to bring me the most joy and fulfillment, and was going to lead me to this place of truly becoming and being this beautiful spiritual being and embodiment that is sovereign and free. And one of the things that has been really in my awareness in the last couple of years is this knowing that I am to embody this sovereignty, right? This sovereignty, and to be free to love myself, free to love others freely and openly, free to express the truth of who I am, free to be me unapologetically. And this requires a deeper level of trust within ourselves, within our own decisions. And this trust, they're saying, needs to come from within. So when we allow ourselves to come into silence, to not look outside of ourselves, to trust this inner voice, this quiet, gentle voice of the divine, of our soul, of our higher self, that is always speaking to us, that is always guiding us in different ways, we will know what the next step is for us. And recognize that we will be safe, we will be supported. And even if it isn't going to work out the way we thought it should, there is going to be something greater for us. And it will be so magical and so beautiful that we just can't even imagine. We can't even imagine it with our human mind. And the other message that was coming through was that with is that you can't make a wrong decision. So in life, we have been conditioned to think that if I make this decision like that, I can't change it. And what I want you to know, what I want you to receive today is that you can always make a new choice. You can always make a new decision, because when you make a decision, you will have reflected back to you the consequences of that decision, right? And consequences sounds like a really hard way of articulating it, but you will see how that decision outplays. Okay, you will see it unfold in your life. And if you don't like the unfolding of it, if you don't like the results of that decision, you have the opportunity to make a new decision. And what I was receiving is that indecision is one of the most crippling ways to stay in, because it's like you're in a bog, in a swamp, and you are sinking, and you're sitting in this stew of this swampy mess, and you feel stuck. And this is why we feel stuck in life often, is because we think that we can't make a decision. We think that we can't move forward. We think that we can't take that next step. But in this message, the next step is always available to you, the next decision and the next choice. And you don't need to know the next 10 steps. You don't. It will reveal itself to you. So trust in your own decisions. And as you make a decision and another one, you can begin to trust yourself more fully. And as you commune internally and ask God, ask your higher self to deepen that trust in yourself, in your knowing, to deepen your ability to take those slow, not slow, but just any movement forward, right? Any movement forward. And so that was what was coming through. And then the other part was, um, just let me tune in for a second. I think, is there anything else? So as we begin to, so what they're really saying is to stop looking outside of yourself, to come back to center, to go within, and to trust this divine intelligence, to trust your higher self that has a greater perspective of your life and your divine plan, and to trust in this, and to recognize that, oh yes, this was it. So what they were showing me and what they're showing me now is a blank canvas. So they're saying that when we make decisions, right, every day is a new day. We have a blank canvas in front of us. We have a new chapter in life that we can embrace, and to get curious about that journey, that path, and to be curious and to be excited about it. And they're showing me these times in my life, actually, when I was a child, I moved a lot. And I remember actually feeling excited about this new adventure. It was like a new adventure to me. And I thought to myself, wow, nobody knows me here. I get to reinvent myself. And this is what is happening in our life, is that we are shedding old versions of ourselves. We are letting old versions of ourselves go. And we are, as we close out those chapters, we are opening up an entirely new chapter. And we have this blank canvas. And the ego doesn't like that, because it's not known, it's unknown, it's unseen, it's uncomfortable to the ego. The ego wants to know everything. It wants to know exactly what's going to take place. And the thing is we don't know. And we're being asked to surrender that control and to trust deeply that whatever is coming for us, it's not happening to us, it's happening for us, so that we can grow and expand and evolve. And we have this beautiful canvas in front of us, and it's okay to not know. And this is why we're being asked to trust. And they just reminded me of all the times in those broken moments that I was being held, I was being loved, I was being supported. And so were you. And on the other side of that fear was faith, right? It was not just faith, but on the other side of that fear, when I walked through the fire, when I walked through the difficulty, when I took the next step, was something grand waiting for me. So when I look back at those clips that I was showing, it reminds me that my life unfolded in this evolutionary way, and it just got better and better and better. So begin to let go of the outside and come into center and in silence and commune with spirit, commune with your soul, your higher self, with God, and ask God to deepen your trust. And it will unfold, it will happen. And trust in the next decision, trust in the next step. You can take it. Thank you for joining me, and please subscribe if you like these messages, my content, and I will see you tomorrow.